Hi, my name is Blaze and welcome back to part 3 of how to use a tool. In this installation of the series, I will be covering your simple ruler and a speed square. So, starting off with safety, there's not many precautions you need to take. But with a ruler, when you have it out at length, I have the lock on right now so it's not going to shoot back. When you're having it returned, you do not want to have the inside of your thumb next to the metal part of the tape measure because it will cut you. That's just about all the safety precautions you need to know. So, simple features of this. Right here, on top, this switch right here, it locks and unlocks. So right now this is unlocked. You flip the switch, it's going to stay in place. On the bottom there is also a button. If you just want to temporarily hold it, that way it doesn't fly back and hit you, you just press in the button and it'll hold it. On the back side, there's a clip. This clip is to use with your pants. You can simply just hook it onto the side of your pants when you don't want to hold it. Now, this is a square. The basic function of this is to make sure that these two sides are 90 degrees to each other. So, for example, this piece of wood, if you want to check the squareness of this corner, just simply put it up against this and look for gaps. In this case, there are no gaps, so you know this piece is square. Now, if something isn't square, what you would do is go up to an edge like this, mark a line straight across, and then cut the piece of wood. And then you have a square edge to start with. This square also has a built-in level to it. So, say you're putting a post, you want to make sure that the edge is square and it's also level with the earth. What you do is you set it on top, and there's this little bubble inside. If it's too far to the right, if it's leaning to the right, this bubble is going to move to the left. If it's leaning to the left, this bubble is going to move to the right. When you have it centered, this little bubble is going to go right in the center. That's how you know you have it level. Another feature of this level is if you have a different size piece of wood, for example, this is just a simple 1x1. They also have 2x4s and 4x4s. There's a 4x4 and here's a 2x4. For example, if you're going to be marking down this edge, and you don't want it to come all the way out, that way you have room right here to work with. If it's on the edge of the bench, then you just set it and then you tighten this little knob. The one right here. If you're measuring this side, and you don't want it sticking all the way out, once again, just push it in, tighten the knob, and now it's not sticking out. Another reason that you'd have this is if you want to create a straight line going down a piece of timber and you want to have it set to a specific length. On this ruler, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but there's marks. It's a simple 12-inch ruler. So, for example, say I want to chop off a piece of 2x4 that is cut to 4 inches length. I'll go to the straight edge right here, this edge right here. I'll look at the ruler and I'll pull it out to 4 inches. Once I have it where I want it, I would just tighten down the knob, set it on the piece of wood, make sure it's flat with the edge, take a carpenter's pencil, and just mark the line. Now, using these two pieces together, say this post, pretend it's 3 or 4 feet long, you only need a 2-foot section of it. What you'll do, you can take your ruler, measure out 2 feet. I'm only going to do 1 foot in this case because I don't have enough. You'll mark a simple triangle, like the one right there. Then you'll take your square, line it up with the center of that arrow, take your carpenter's pencil, and mark your line. Now, you have a square line for where you want to cut. Some advice about this carpenter's pencil right here is something that most people do not know. So, the lengthwise this way is 1/2 inch. This way, it's 1/4 inch. So, if you're in a sticky situation and you need to measure something out and you don't need it to be accurate, you can just use this pencil and measure out like 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch. Now, this speed square also has an angled edge like this. What this is for is to mark perfect 45-degree angles. So, on this 1 foot piece I just marked out, if I want this top to be angled going down in this direction, I will take the piece like this, put the speed square up to it, and line the outside edge of the ruler up with the top of the line I just marked. Once you have it where you want it, just simply mark your line. Now, you have a perfect 45-degree angle to cut.